5. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Romesh Piris and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The Prime Minister says an export economy will be created in the country instead of a foreign economy market. India and Sri Lanka to work closely on security issues. Preparations in place for the O-level examination. The SLTB says a special bus service will be in operation for the candidates sitting for GCE Ordinary Level examination. COVID-19 cases tally on the rise. News overseas casualties rise as police step up crackdown in Myanmar. In sports cricket, Tom Moody named director of Sri Lanka Cricket. And those are the headlines. Prime Minister Mahindra Rajapaksa says an export economy will be created in the country instead of a foreign economy market. Speaking during his visit to the Hambantota district for a national program to establish agricultural export zones, Premier Rajapaksa said the present government was able to ensure renewed energy to the Sri Lankan economy that was only dependent on tea, coconut and rubber. The Premier claimed the opposition attempted to raise strong objections, claiming shortage in turmeric in the market, adding, however, that the government stood firm on the decision to ban the import of turmeric and promote locally produced turmeric. Premier Rajapaksa claimed that the former administration attempted to create an American economic corridor, adding, however, the present government is creating a local export corridor. India has announced that it will extend its fullest support to Sri Lanka in security matters. Issuing a statement, the High Commission of India in Colombo said Sri Lanka is priority number one partner for India in the defence sphere. The High Commission said the assurance of India's fullest cooperation in the field of defence and security was recently reiterated to the Sri Lankan leadership by National Security Advisor Ajit Doval during his visit to Colombo for trilateral maritime security cooperation talks. It added that the participation of India's military aircraft in the 70th anniversary celebration of the Sri Lanka Air Force is indicative of the growing cooperation and friendship between the two nations. Minister of Education Professor G.L. Piris says all preparations have been made to conduct the 2020 GCE Ordinary Level examination while ensuring the safety of the students. Speaking to media in Kurunagala today, Minister Piris said 40 special centres have been set up considering the prevailing climate in the country. Nearly 622,000 students will be sitting for the 2020 O-Level exam at 4,513 centres across the country. The Education Minister Piris noted that 50 million rupees have been allocated to conduct this examination. The minister added that he personally held discussions with all 9 provincial education directors pertaining to the conduct of the exam. The minister added that special buses and trains will be deployed in all 9 examination dates. The O-Level exam will commence tomorrow and will be held till 10th of March. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Sri Lanka Transport Board says a special bus service will be in operation for candidates sitting for the 2020 GCE Ordinary Level examination and the exam staff due to commence tomorrow. The SLTB Deputy General Manager Panduka Swarnahansa said the special buses will be operated based on the timetable. He further stated regional and depot managers have been informed to accommodate requests for additional buses if the need arises. Swarnahansa noted around 750 buses are operational across the island under the Sisu Seriya program. To mark the 75th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Air Force, the Indian Air Force aerobic display teams, fixed wing Surya Kirans and rotary wing Sarang, along with light combat aircraft, reached Colombo, Sri Lanka yesterday. The Indian Air Force joined the celebration on an invitation from the commander of the Sri Lanka Air Force, Air Marshal Sudarshana Patirana. The Surya Kirans, Sarang and the LCA Tejas will participate in an air show at Golfbase Colombo to script another significant chapter in the traditionally strong IAF-SLAF ties from March 3 to March 5th this year. The Ratana Sutra Chanting program organized by the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation will take place tomorrow at the Satkorle Naramala Ganegoda Sri Sudarshana Rajamaha. This will be the 124th program to be held island-wide. The Ratana Sutra chanting program will be broadcast live at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow over the SLBC single commercial service, City FM and all regional services. And that's local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Another 204 COVID-19 cases have been detected today in the country, raising the number of confirmed infections to 82,890. Earlier today, 574 persons who recovered from COVID-19 were discharged from hospitals, raising the number of recoveries in the country to 78,373. The epidemiology unit of the Ministry of Health said 4,053 persons are currently receiving treatment for coronavirus at 64 facilities across the country. 401 suspected COVID-19 cases are also under medical care at present. And that came to you in Top News.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
In Washlight, an operation that carries out buying and selling of stolen motorcycles in the Negam area in Galnava has been raided by the police. The police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana says that there is an increase in motorcycle thefts in the country. He advised the public to take precautionary actions or measures while parking motorcycles, as there have been reports of organized gangs stealing motorcycles. That came to you in Washlight, and up next is World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines. First, casualties rise as police step up crackdown in Myanmar. Dozens detained in Kazakh opposition rallies. Dozens of leading Hong Kong Democrats charged with the subversion in the major national security crackdown. And those are the headlines. A violent crackdown on anti-coup protesters in Myanmar intensified today, with police using live rounds, rubber bullets and tear gas. Huge protests in cities such as Yangon, Mandalay and Dawai have continued despite the police response. There are reports of fatalities, although they are difficult to confirm. The country has been rocked by protests since top government leaders, including Aung San Suu Kyi, were overthrown and detained by the army on the 1st of February. Police in Kazakhstan detained dozens of opposition supporters today who took to streets of major cities denouncing that they called political repression in the oil-rich Central Asian nation. The ruling Nur Otan party has dominated the political scene in the former Soviet Republic for almost 3 decades, while opposition movements, sidelined and with no seats in parliament, mostly make themselves heard through public protests. 47 Hong Kong Democrats and activists were charged today with the conspiracy to commit subversion in the largest single crackdown on the democratic opposition under China-imposed national security law. The Hong Kong police said in a statement they had laid a charge against 47 persons with a single count. They will appear in court tomorrow morning. And that's World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In development news, Sri Lanka's embassy in Beijing says China Group cooperation in talks with Sri Lanka over $310 million mineral sand project. The embassy said Wang Zhu, managing director of China Logical Group's Corporation International and MCC Sri Lanka, had met Ambassador Palita Kohana for talks on February 26th. Sri Lanka has served sea and deposits in the northwest of the island, such as Pulmode, which get replenished over wave action. Now a state-run corporation exports raw sand. Sri Lanka's mineral sands include monazite and zircon, which are believed to contain rare earth elements such as cerium. And that's development news. And in sports, cricket, the former Australian all-rounder and reputed commentator Tom Moody has emerged as the new director of Sri Lanka cricket. Tom Moody has previously served as Sri Lanka's coach and ushered them to the finals of the 2007 World Cup. Moody has also been in coaching and directorial roles with IPL franchises, Global T20 Canada, Pakistan Super League teams and Big Bash League. His job as Sri Lanka cricket director will begin from tomorrow. And that's sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
John Keel's Properties, a unit of John Keel's Holdings, said it has sold most of the land plots at Victoria Golf and Country Resort in Kandy, and it is now offering turnkey holiday villas and townhouses, which could also be managed for their owners. JK Properties said 90% of the land plots branded Peacock Valley and is now focusing on Sunrise Rich branded holiday homes, which come as townhouses and standalone villas. And that's business news.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News. Courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The central bank governor says that Sri Lanka is committed to meet its debt servicing obligations and is in talks with some foreign governments and multilateral institutions on its finances. Governor W.D. Lakshman told a panel organized by the Sri Lankan think tank the country was in talks with several bilateral and multilateral institutions, including foreign governments and central banks, regarding financing.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Finally, in the weather report, the Met Department says mainly fair weather will prevail over most parts of the island. The Met Department further forecasts misty conditions at some places in the central, Sabrakamu and Uva provinces during the morning hours. Before we wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. The Prime Minister says an export economy will be created in the country instead of a foreign economy market. India and Sri Lanka to work closely on security matters. Preparations in place for 2020 O-level examination. The SLTB says a special bus service will be in operation for candidates sitting for the GCE Ordinary Level examination. COVID-19 cases tally on the rise. And with that, we conclude this news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And it's back to Chandima. We're going to keep you company with the rest of the programs this Sunday evening. Over to you, Chandima.